Good afternoon, welcome and mahaba to the Brother Sewing community. Hope you're all keeping well, and I hope you've enjoyed our tutorials. If you have, please continue to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, the button's just below. Today we'll be using the Brother JK17B. As you can see, it comes in a really cute colour, but also it's got 17 built-in stitches, including a buttonhole. It also has a top-load bobbin. This machine is perfect for all levels of sewing, so whether you're a newbie or an experienced sewist, this is a perfect machine for you, and it also makes an ideal Christmas gift. It's available at all your usual Brother outlets. Today's project is reusable cleansing pads. These cleansing pads are really easy to make, and not only that, they're also environmentally friendly and also cost effective as well. So the makeup pads are cotton on one side and toweling on the other side. I've used contrast stitching because I think it looks really nice and interesting. The project also includes a storage bag which doubles up as a laundry bag, so it will save you having to fish around inside your gym gear and socks when you take it out of the laundry. I have made 7, one for each day of the week. And as you can see, they're all different colours. This project is a really great scrap buster. You don't need much fabric, and I just repurposed a flannel that I had. So here's what you'll need. You'll need 2 pieces of fabric. Mine measure 7 inches by 3 inches. You'll also need some mesh fabric. You can also use repurpose netting or a net curtain. This one measures 13 by 6. You also need some squares of fabric, as many as you want to make, but here's a set of 7, and these are 3 times 3 inches. You will also need toweling, measuring 3 by 3 inches to match your cotton pieces. You'll also need a piece of cord, round about 10 inches long. Okay, let's get started. You will need your toweling and your piece of cotton. They are each 3 times 3 inches. All you'll do is put one on top of the other, like so. You can pin it together if you like to make it easy to sew, or you just place it on your machine and off you go. The great thing about this machine, the JK17, is that the dial is really easy to read. There's no guesswork. You can choose the different size zigzags from a small to medium to large, all with corresponding numbers. Just simply turn it and it will click. I like to use number 4, the largest one, because I like the fact that it's spaced quite nicely and not too close together. I'm using purple thread, so it'll contrast nicely with my fabric and with my toweling. So I'm going to start sewing. You want to make sure that you cover the edge of the fabric as well as the toweling, and not go too far into the cleansing pad. Get to the corner, just lift up the presser foot and complete your square. Like so, really easy. I haven't done a reverse stitch on this one because what I'll do is I'll sew over the end, or the start should I say, of the zigzag line, so you don't have to have too many stitches in one place. There we go. So I'll trim off all the loose threads, of course, but that's it. Just go all the way around. There might be some overhang of the toweling, but you can just simply trim it off. So 1 down, 6 more to go. So you finished all your 7 cleansing pads. We're going to move on now to the storage bag stroke laundry bag. You will need 2 pieces of fabric measuring 7 by 3, 1, 2, and you also need some mesh. This bag's measure 13 by 6. There's a reason why the fabric and the mesh are different widths. It's because we're going to be folding an edge on the fabric. If you didn't have that edge and you fold it, you will end up with a smaller edge and a larger mesh. I know, because it happened to me. What we're going to do now is we're going to fold the fabric like so. Just fold it in 1/2 inch. A finger press is fine, just like so, on both sides. You can of course use your iron. I'll need a straight stitch for this part, but I was using a zigzag just now, number 4. I'll need to move the dial to choose the correct straight stitch. So I'll just turn the dial through to the part where the straight stitch feature is. I'd like a straight stitch which is neither too tight or too spaced apart. So on this one I can see I would choose a number 9. A fairly decent mid-length stitch. So all I'll do is I'll turn it until it hits the right button and I'm ready to go. And now from here, I'll just sew a straight line all the way down just to keep the seam in place. I'll do a quick reverse stitch. There we go, that's the first side done. Just press the other side with my fingers and I'll repeat the same. And what you've done for one side, you must do to the other side. Next part is to fold the bag about 1 inch down. Again, you can press this, but I find that a finger fold is just as effective, like so. And I'll sew about 1/4 inch from the edge, like so. And what's done for one must be done for the other. There we go. That's the second side turned over. And this is for this channel is for your cord, for the drawstring cord. Trim off all the spare threads. Don't need those. Okay, so now you've got your both sides all ready to attach. Take your mesh, and I've used a continuous piece of mesh so I don't have to add another seam at the bottom. Put the right side of the fabric with the cord channel facing inwards, like so. And it should go from one end to the other. You can pin this if you like, but I'm just going to pick it up and sew it. Now the mesh does have a little tendency to stretch, so you might experience a little bit of surplus fabric, but that's okay. You can trim it off afterwards. So that's one side, and now we're going to add the other side. So this side faces in, and this side does exactly the same as well. Don't forget the cord channel always has to face inwards. Here we go. We've got the cord channels facing inwards. Now what I like to do is top stitch the seam, because when it's hanging down like that, the drawstring part tends to wobble a little bit and it looks quite messy. So quite often what I'll do is I'll just do a top stitch. It's really easy. Just fold the seam back on itself, like so. You can see now the bit that was hanging there is now tucked nicely behind. And for this one, I'll do an edge stitch. Go as close as you can. Making sure at all times that the seam is facing into the fabric so it can't be seen. Double checking, yep, still hidden away. Okay, so here we have a side that is finished, that is top stitched, and a side that is finished, is not top stitched. And this one does look much tidier. On the back, you've secured the netting down so it won't slip backwards and forwards. So we'll do the same for the other side. Here we go. We now have the first stage of the bag finished. So trim off all the little hairy threads. Get rid of those. Trim off the edge of the netting as well. Both sides. So what we'll do now is construct the bag. This is the right side of the fabric. This is the wrong side of the fabric. Put the right sides to the right sides, lining up the best that you can. Now if your measurements are correct, it should line up nicely. So the right sides are together. We're going to sew up the bag, stopping just short of the channel. If you go into the cord channel, what will happen is you'll close the closing mechanism, and then it'll no longer be a drawstring bag. So again, you can pin this, or you can just go straight to the machine. Choice is yours. So I am going to put a reverse stitch or a lock stitch on there. So you come forwards a bit. And then go so up to the line. You don't want to go over the line, because as I said earlier, you'll close up your drawstring channel. Let's go all the way to the end, like so. That's one side of the bag done. I'll do the other side. You can, of course, tidy up any edges that are hanging out before you start sewing if you think it might help, but I usually trim mine after. This is the bag that's inside out currently. And what we're going to do now is insert the cord for the drawstring mechanism. Turn it inside out. And now it's nice and tidy. The edges match up nicely, which I'm really happy about on both sides. So what you'll need now is your drawstring cord. I've got this piece of natural cotton rope, you can use whatever you like, and a pin. So what I've done is I've knotted the end of the fabric and added the safety pin. You can use a bodkin or a hairpin or anything that you can easily thread through. I find the hairpin is really useful because it's completely closed and doesn't slip out. I put the knot there so it doesn't undo itself halfway through. You'll see there's a channel. There's 4 actually, so whichever one you choose, it will have the same result. So all you do is add it in. There we go. And just thread it all the way through. You'll see you'll come out the other side. And just go straight through to the other hole. Don't get too enthusiastic. Let's pull the other side out. And you should be reunited with the other side of the cord. Pull it through, there we go. There's a knot. Then what I would do is I would undo this knot and then tie both cords together. Line it up, tie both cords together. And we trim the cords to make it uniform size. And that's your drawstring pouch, which is your storage net and also doubles up as a laundry net for your pieces. So it's exactly the same as this one, just different fabric. So here we go. You go inside. But don't just stop at squares, you can also make circles. So for this one, I've done a colour palette of greys, different patterns at the front. Again, just some scraps from my collection, and what I've done, which I really like, is to use contrasting thread around the outside. So I've chosen different colour threads for them all, and they all have different colour backs. Now this drawstring bag has got loads of multiple uses. You must have seen in supermarkets produce bags, so you can actually enlarge it. All you do is just choose whatever size you want. And this is great for a produce bag. You can make them wider or longer. So talking about machines, I do hope your machine is in good working order. If you need any advice, whether it's technical or whether you need to see where you can go with your sewing journey, please feel free to call 800-BROTHER, the support centre. They are open from Sunday to Thursday from 8 AM to 5 PM, and your call will be answered by an expert. Thanks for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed that. Please stay tuned for so many more tutorials coming your way. My name is Teresa Choi from Skill Street, signing off till next time. Bye!